Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Hold the Ball HTB. Hope you all, thanks again guys for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. If you're new, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff there. I'm doing an NRL Ladder prediction, right? It's that time of the year where we do these things, and I don't know how seriously we take it, but it's something to sort of think about. It's fun. You don't do it all the time. But before I get into it, hit that intro. Alright guys, as I said, NRL Ladder prediction. The NRL is quite literally around the corner. In February, early Feb, 12th of February, we have the Indigenous All-Stars versus the Māori All-Stars, and I'll be doing my thoughts on the teams leading up to it in early Feb, so I can give you guys, my thoughts on that, so stay tuned for that. But in saying that, it's the NRL prediction, ladder prediction. Disclaimer, don't get upset. It's all opinion-based. I'm sure you're a passionate supporter like I am. You're probably not going to be happy, or maybe you will be happy where I place your team. But at the end of the day, don't get too upset, because we all know anything can happen. Your team could probably be done for going over the salary cap, and we end up being 16th place for the whole year. Hopefully not my team, but you get what I mean. So we'll get into it. I'll give you my first to 16, and I'll give you guys my reasons why. Is there right or wrong answers? Probably not, because it's just a prediction. Do you try to aim to make it as realistic as possible? I think you do normally, but sometimes over-analyzing can also come with downfalls, because ultimately it's just a prediction. The only thing that matters is at the end of the season what the ladder really looks like. But in saying that, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so in first place I have the Penrith Panthers, for obvious reason. Steely defense, Nathan Cleary, their forward pack, unimaginable, powerful, strong. Sure, they've got one or two players who have left the club, but I'm saying I think they're still in good hands with Nathan Cleary steering the ship. Don't be surprised if they go on a back-to-back run. I'm just going to say it right now. If there's a team that has their players clicking at a young age and all heading into their prime, it's this team, to be fair. We have to wait and see. In second place, this one here is surprising. I think not many people may do this one, but I've actually got the Cronulla Sharks in the top 4, but in the top 2 here. I've got them finishing in second place because they're steely. Again, much like the Penrith Panthers, defense is going to carry them. And at the same time as well, some additions, right? Nico Hines, Dale Finucane, McInnes, and then you've got Ikuvalu as well, just, to sort of go and name some core players that they have. Not to say that they're just the only players that can make damage, obviously. You've got Talakai, you've got William Kennedy, you've got Wilton, you know what I mean? And you've just got a plethora of players, a Raymond as well, who can change the game on a dime, right there and then, split second. And you add those other players I've just mentioned as well. Just what a team. I think their defense is going to be something that will be very hard to break. That's what I think. I don't think the Sharks are going to let up too many points this year, actually. I think they're going to be a pretty good team defensively. But in saying that, have to wait and see. But yeah, Sharks, second for me. And in third place, I have the Sydney Roosters. I think from this season onwards, we're going to be seeing a very strong team. Granted, they don't get, any injuries, serious injuries. I think they're going to, for a team that got injured last year, right? And to still be in the top 6 mix, you know what I mean? Like, volumes, it speaks volumes. You imagine them fit, no injuries. This team's going to be raring and roaring to go. We will hear the old rooster, sing once again, I believe anyway, for many years to come. But I've got them at third place. Fourth place here, I've got Manly. Tom Trbojevic, largest shoulders in the game. His brothers, right? You've got Tom being a young core, along with Olakawatu, Schuster, Saab as well. They're such a young team, and they're just, to me anyway, they just look like they're ready to do some damage. They, just like the Panthers, I think can win a premiership personally. You've got DCE, Fozza as well. And again, just some experienced players overall who've been there, who've done that. And I think that'll be enough for them to cement their spot in fourth place. But again, look forward to it. Manly fans, I think there's going to be some good things coming out of Brookvale Oval. For the fifth place, I have is the Storm. Very surprising. Normally, people have them in the top 4. I have them outside the 4. And again, it sounds really cliche and silly, but it's because I believe that they will, with the changes of personnel, players who've gone, I think that may shake them up a bit. But I'm saying that they've got some players in as well, Nick as well as Xavier Coates, to name a few, who I think can, be some hustle players for him. So we'll have to wait and see. But again, with the Storm, you can't count them out. To be fair, every time you do, they end up being in the top 2 or end up winning the comp. So I'll say no more or say less. But in saying that, I've got them for 5th place. We'll have to wait and see. Again, can't wait. Pappenhuisen as well, just an absolute unit, and I think he's going to jump into leap and bounds, and just as well, I think he's going to also represent the Blues this year. Mark my words. Granted, he doesn't get injured. 6th place, I've got the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Yes, I see them drop off. Obviously, with the lack of Adam Reynolds, so to speak, will probably deter them from doing too much in the heavy department. To be fair, South Sydney, if they were in the top 8, say from 6 down to 8, you wouldn't be surprised. If they were probably in the bottom, if they were probably from 9 down to 12, you probably wouldn't be surprised too. Obviously, granted, they've got some really good players. Cameron Murray, should I say, the captain, who I think is going to have a stellar year. Latrell Mitchell, Cody Walker, and obviously some young players too in Taff. Got Omatangi, you've got Elias. So again, players who have been there, Jackson Paulo, who have experienced the pains and the hurts of that losing that grand final. And I'm sure they can build from that. But the Rabbitohs, to me, it'll all depend on what happens regarding the halves. I think that will determine how far they go. Sounds cliche, but I generally mean it. Obviously, it's all going to have to have some good key forwards, which they do have. But I think the steering wheel ultimately is the thing that matters the most. So we'll have to see where the direction is going. But I do have them at 6th place. For 7th place here, I've actually got the Eels coming in at 7th place. I think the Eels will, to me, anyway, make some much needed noise. Again, they're always thereabouts, with some of their players. They have Sivo, obviously Ferguson is gone, but they've got Mitchell Moses, they've got Gutherson, Kingatho. They've got some players who can do some damage, I think. Isaiah Papali as well is going to be an interesting one as well. So we'll have to wait and see. Oregon Galfosi, Benny Sini as well. But we'll just have to wait and see. But I think for them, they'll be thereabouts. So that's why I have the Eels at 7th place. For 8th place, again, you're probably going to sort of roll your eyes. You'll either be disappointed or happy. But at the end of the day, it's all right. I've got the Warriors at 8th place. I think they've got the personnel to make some damage. Yes, again, you've been hearing that word a few times. But I believe the Warriors do. Sean Johnson is an addition, is a good one. Enovan Blake, Matt Lodge, Penne, for Ben Murdoch, Marcilla, Reece Walsh. The addition of Ash Taylor, and I'll get onto him as well in another video. But again, there's some good players there to gel with. I think they can, again, it's just my prediction video. Tell me yours, but I've got the Warriors at 8th. All right, so now we're going to deal with the bottom 9 to 16. I've got the Bulldogs at 9th. I believe they jumped dramatically, but I think probably just a few clinks in the armor there won't get them all the way through to 8th and beyond. I think that in saying that this year will be a good year, a good tester, a good opener. I understand that people are expecting them to be in the top 8. Let's not rush ourselves here. Chemistry takes time, and names, for example, don't just win you premierships. It's about what they do. Adokar's great to name. David Bangai Jr. is great to name. Those players are great to name and talk about. But again, if they can't produce on the field, names are just names, obviously, but they've done so much moving in terms of player movement, roster movement, that, yeah, you couldn't be blamed if you did think of them as a top 8 team. But at the same time, I think they sort of do the job. But I think next season is where they bite, so to speak. So we'll have to wait and see. But I've got them at 9th. At 10th is the Titans. They did well, obviously, to just hang on last season. But I think this season here, they may drop off a little bit. That's what I think. I don't see them doing too much this season. For some reason unknown. Obviously, they've got Fasuo Maleaui, David Fifita. They've got some players. They've made some changes too. Isaac Liu as well is playing. Sam Laisone, big ball runner for him. You got Brian Kelly there as well. But I just think for myself personally, I think they drop off. That's what I think anyway. So yeah, I've got the Titans at 10th place there. For the Cowboys, I have the Cowboys at 11th. I do believe they make a bit of movement. But again, with Chad Townsend, again, you're just going to wait and see. Bearing in mind that he will be their main dude, right? So granted, he doesn't get injured. How far can he take them? I'm not too sure. Is he a player that you want to place your bets on to take you all the way. Again, probably not for me to answer. I'll leave that for you Cowboy fans to sort of answer and dive into. But I'll give you guys just something to think about, right? So, again, thoughts there. Chad Townsend, Kenny Canty, again, for him to be placed at 11th, I think is probably enough clues there for you guys to find to think about it. But yeah, you've got Dalmalo in the mix, obviously, Valentine Holmes, Tabuai Fido. You've got some really good players there, key players there, and some young ones too, you know. Obviously, Cohen Hess as well, position change. Going to wait and see how he performs. And then you've got a few younger players as well, who I think, in my opinion, well, yeah, should do some stuff. But again, wait and see. All right, so in 12th place, I have is the Brisbane Broncos. I look at this team and I think they're a pretty team on paper. They're pretty, you know. Got Donny Staggs, Payne Haas, Adam Reynolds, Kurt Capel. Very pretty team. You know, you got Selwyn Cobo. Exciting. Jermaine Isako. You know what I mean? Very exciting squad. You know, Jake Turpin. The likes. Oates, unsure where he's going. But again, with these players are named, and obviously they're forwards too. With these players here that I've named, it's a pretty team. But again, I'm just unsure. Do I trust their chemistry? I'm not too sure. You know, and that's where I sort of fall. And for me, that's why I have them at 12th. I believe they do better than they did last season. But I don't know. Can Adam Reynolds do it? He can. But I'm just afraid that Broncos may just rely on him solely. And if things aren't going well with the Broncos, we know that they're a team that can eat a lot of points, you know, from a scored against point of view. They can. I guess there's a few teams that can, but you get my point. So, yeah, I've got them at 12th place. And then for 13th, I have the Raiders. Yeah, again, shocking. I've got the Raiders. I think they dropped down dramatically. I think the rise and the fall of the Raiders is probably going to be a very accurate sort of a description of the last 3 to 4 years of their tenure at the top of the NRL. Obviously losing the 2019 grand final to the Sydney Roosters. But I think personnel changes, politics as well, being quite well documented. I think that'll do the damage there. But I just don't think they'll have the players to push on. Obviously, they've got some new additions. Holla is one. Kotrick comes back. Kotrick. You know, obviously you have Nicole Coolstad as well, who'll be back to our fullback. Papali'i, you know, an absolute warhorse. One of the best props of all time, I think, anyway. Just a menace on attack and offense. And he's a good niggler as well. Knows how to get under players' skin. And he can back it up too, which sucks for the opposition player. But again, I just don't know what's happening. Hodgson as well. There's just a lot of things going on. Whiten, I don't think the Raiders do much damage, so that's why I have them at 13th place. All right, so then we've got 14, 15, 16. So for 14, I've got the Knights. Yep, the Knights. I think without Mitchell Pearce, I think they fall off. I'm not too sure where Ponga's head's at mentally regarding moves to make next. Will we see the best footy of his? Unsure. He's going for a deal, I think, right? I do believe he's an option for 2023. If you want to chase a big deal, you play well to go, for example, the Dolphins. But at the same time, at the same token as well, does he want to stay? Does he want to show his loyalty? I don't know. With the Knights, it's really unfair. But to be fair, when you're sort of talking about the Knights, the marquee player is Kalen Ponga. He puts bums on seats. That's the reality. Obviously, again, as I mentioned, with Pearce gone, probably they lose a bit of that direction, that experience, definitely. But obviously, they've got some key forwards you can rely on. Saifiti brothers as well. The brothers of destruction, as I call them. You got Clemmer, and obviously you've got Frizzell, veteran as well, right? You got some players that can carry them, but what can happen? You know, you got Dominic Young in the backs. You know, Gagai returns again. A lot of moving pieces there that can or possibly not, you know, sort of be in the mix. But yeah, I've got them down at 14th. That leaves the last two, right? And so for this one here, I've got the Dragons at 15th. The Dragons, to me, obviously they made some good changes, key changes, but I just don't think it'll be enough. Moses Sully, you got the addition of Aaron Woods, Moses Mabye, obviously Cameron McInnes gone to the Sharks. You've got Jaden Su'a, who plays as well there. Armoni will be steering the ship, but I just think a lot of these moving pieces just won't gel enough in time. I don't think that they will. You know, the loss of Corey Norman regardless of your thoughts on him, an experienced player has been there, and he's no longer there. So again, the inexperience of the team is quite severe. I don't think Aaron Woods will be starting too much or playing too many games. I may be wrong, but again, the Dragons to me, I think might be a team that unfortunately will, well, for them anyway, will be losing a few games. But that's my opinion. All right. Last but not least, 16th. Right, here we go. The opposite of first is last. Tigers. I've got the West Tigers here. I think the problems are going to shine even more. I believe Maguire's probably going to be facing the axe. Though they've got players there that can definitely play representative football and have international as well as state of origin. I do believe, though, as a team, as a unit, I think we're going to see probably their worst year to date. Again, big remarks to make, I get it. But that's my opinion there. I think we see their worst ever sort of plays to date. Probably not cool, not good, but those are my thoughts there regarding that and that team there. All right, guys. So that actually concludes my NRL ladder prediction. If you guys want a little quick gist of it again, hey, feel free to watch. But I might put in the description below. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that is it. You know, from 1 to 16, I've given you guys my reasons why. Again, it is just predictions. It's not the be-all, end-all. It's not set in concrete. Don't bash me. Don't congratulate me. Because at the end of the day, we just don't know. But again, it is my opinion. But yeah, feel free to comment. What do you think? Give me your thoughts. You know, am I far-fetched? Am I too far out? Am I too far in? Am I whatever? But I'd love to hear your opinions and your takes on it. But in saying that, guys, thanks again for watching. I appreciate it very much. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff there. I'll see you guys next time. And just remember, hold the ball. Take it easy. See you guys next time. The Rooster will... the Rooster.
I'ma be your favorite drug.